Well, Joe did nothing short of a miracle today. Let me tell you what. The kids' school buses were canceled today. I just went and picked them up from school on my way to Ohio. I'm going to drop them off, and then I'm going to head to Ohio for the day. Now, I am going to come back tomorrow evening after race 1. And if Joey's watching this, the trainer of the horse I'm down to drive in the 14th tomorrow, I'm not going to be able to stay. Ollie, as I told everybody, was chosen to speak in front of the school.
Oh, and by the way, Dad.
Yeah?
The finalists had to pick a number between how many people are going, and I got picked and I accidentally picked number 1, which means I have to go first.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, bud.
I gotta say my speech first.
That's good. So Ollie's up number 1 tomorrow. So his speech got moved because of the inclement weather here in Ontario from Tuesday to Thursday. Now, I was down to drive horses Thursday. I was down to drive Walk on the Moon. I was down to drive Blue Tesla and a horse of Tim's. And it's going to be a beautiful day in the meadows. 21 degrees and sunny. But something's a little more important. So I'm going to come home Wednesday after race 1 at Northfield Park. And I'm going to watch Ollie's speech on Thursday. So that's what I'm doing. A little amendment to my schedule. Many of you wondering why I wasn't down to drive the horses Thursday. Now you know. Now, today, as I was saying, the weather was so bad last night, they canceled the races after race 5 at Mohawk. I had to get that pick 5 in, but I don't blame them. And truthfully speaking, we're 13 minutes northwest of Mohawk. So a 13-minute drive from my house to Mohawk, and they canceled the races. So that's how bad the weather was in this area. And we get up.
There's ice on the ground.
There's ice and snow everywhere. And yet we went to the track today, the farm today. The track was in good shape. I couldn't believe it. So we went with the horses. I trained, we're going to talk about all the babies. Amy trained Brace for Landing afterwards. He was good. He's coming along very nicely. I trained Crantini yesterday, because I thought the weather was going to keep us off the track. Crantini trained great. Again, that's 6 training sets in a row, training trips in a row now. The horse has been great. Now, I guess I'm not going to get super excited yet because he hasn't trained in a group yet. That's fine. The horse's manners seem on point right now. So pretty pumped that way, and I trained Warwieri. I'm going to end with the Warwieri story because it's a doozy. Sets were good today. Now, what I did notice today, what I told James, and James was about to say, I knew it was on his mind anyway, and Amy, we never missed any time this year with the horses. And this time of year, because of the track, we usually miss a week or two. So the horses that are carrying a little less weight than I'd like to see, and there are some of them. Flash Fly, and she's just tall now. She's getting so big. We're gonna give them just a couple of weeks of easy work. Very easy, light jogging, lots of field time, maybe even throw in an extra feeding. See if we can get their weight really bulked up as they push through that March and April, springtime. Insider trading might also be one. Both those fillies they're lean. They're not skinny, but they're lean, and they take their job seriously. So when we turn to go, Insider Trading, Flash Fly they're on point, and they got it all figured out. So I think those two in particular, and Drebin, also Deb's horses are always almost obese, and this guy just looks good. You know, he touched that foot again today, so that was a little tender. And as we get the corks off them too, the transition to the corks is tough, but don't make no mistake, the transition off the corks, there's nothing easy about the horses. These are young athletes, and we're changing their footwear quite dramatically. We're taking a lot of grab off and going with none, so there is a little bit of a transitional phase for those horses too. So let's get to the sets. Winter Bells and Drebin finished 1-2 again. She bested me again, got me on the far outside. I tried to slither my way up the inside, and I could not come to Winter Bells. She was just too good. Drebin was second. Insider Trading was in the middle, went very well. Don't Talk About Bruno was good again. Seasons of Love, she actually made a rare break for her down the backstretch. I know exactly why. The track was great, but the track was deep. And I will get to a story about the track being deep in just a second. Seasons of Love, I'm not worried at all about her. And Blarney Castle, James just went easy with his colt. He didn't even have the hobbles on him. I don't know if he stayed at it or not, but we didn't go a fast mile. I went a mile like 2:51. Set 2, easy in the turns. Time is on my side. I'll tell you, a breakout day for a horse was Watch Your Mouth. He was very, very good today in training. Now, I won the set with Time Is On My Side. Time Is On Your Side. Time Is On My Side. He was really, really good today. I was really proud of how he looked. First day with the flip-flops on, and he did exactly what I thought he would do without the flip-flops on. He looked very good. Easy in the turns was good. Flashfly made a little break in front of the... we just changed all our shoe. I took the flip-flops off her. I wanted to see how she was. We took the bars off her behind. I thought they were jamming her up, and I don't know if either were. She did her work well, finished up right behind us again. Great Bet was pretty good. Georgia the Jungle was very, very good. And I couldn't, somebody was coming to me down the stretch, and I was wrapped up with Time Is On My Side, but I'm like, geez, who's this coming to me? I turn around, watch your mouth. The horse was really smoking on the end of it. Marion said, man, this horse was really, really good today. Another horse, first day with it, the flip-flops on, and he was exceptionally good. Third set was impressive in its own right. Punched the Clock, looked very, very good today. Hallie in the Clouds was kind of down a class speed-wise, quite a few classes. She was good in there. J-Port Beach Boy didn't go today. He was castrated today. And I'm going to castrate International Spy tomorrow because I think that one, he's another horse. We're gonna, not because he's skinny, he's fat. But that left sesamoid was bothering him. I said, you know what, now's the time to do it. Let's castrate him and give him 2 weeks in the field. As we get this little bit of snow left, at least for a couple of days, it'll allow those horses just to get out, let their legs cool down. As you can imagine, the best poultice of all is all around us here in Ontario. So we will castrate International Spy tomorrow. We did J-Port Beach Boy today. Mick Paisley was very good also. All those horses were good. I had Rito's Lady in there, and she actually finished behind them on a mile in 251, 252, and was very good. So Mick Paisley punched the clock. Hallie in the Clouds and James Arthur were all right there and all very good. I was just behind them with Rito's Lady. So a great training day. I come in and I wanted to go with Warrawee Yuri. Just 1 second. Warrawee Yuri. So I went up to go first trip, and he felt good, but he was still a little choppy, a little reminiscent of last year. And he was running in a little bit. Mario just had a little pole on him because today was the day I was going to stretch him out a bit. I wanted to see what he was like. I wanted to see what he was up to, where he was at in his training. It's one thing to hear somebody say he's training good or tell me a time. It's another thing to sit behind him. So I want to sit behind him today, and I did. Just wait, Ollie, 1 second. I asked you just wait. I went out to go with Warrawee Yuri, and as I was going my mile, a little bit rough, a little bit running in, we come out of the last turn, and Joe had cut a driveway through the snowbank for the horses to get out to the field, right? And just where that lip of that snowbank was, Warrawee Yuri ran in a little bit. The jog cart caught that lip, and I got absolutely launched out of the jog cart. And, you know, it's not Warrawee Yuri's fault. That was an Anthony fault. That was my fault. I got absolutely launched out of the jog cart. So I come out of the jog cart, I hit the track, and now I'm down on the track. And Yuri's still that. We're going a mile in 220, 225. I hit the track, and I'm down on the ground, and I steer him into the big giant snowbank, and he stops. So I was mad at myself. I can't really, even at that moment, you know, you want to be mad at someone, but I knew as soon as I hit the track, it was my fault. I should have given the horse a little more room. Yes, he kind of snuck in a little bit at the last second, but it was on me. That was all me. I hit the track, I get up, I'm covered in dirt, but I'm not really hurt. We were going 20 miles an hour. And we were going 20 miles an hour when I hit the dirt. So I came in, and of course a couple of people had seen it, and by this point it was like wildfire. By the time I got back to the barn, everyone knew that I was down on the track. So James like laughing, you know, because he knows I'm all right. I get up and I'm like, I'm not even sore anywhere. How's that possible? Like, I hit the track pretty good. And it's not like I'm 20 anymore. So I come back in, and Mario, you know, I was talking to Mario, got to change. I said, he's going again. I said, it's not his fault. He's going again. Poor Addie. She's a little. Poor Addie is a little wiped out from school. So I go back at Warrawee Yuri, take the knee boots off of him, take the trotting boots off behind, put bandages on him behind. I had 2 head poles on the left of him. Not because he was running in. You guys know I'll do this a lot with some horses. I'll find that the reason we do this, or the reason I do this, is as a driver, I found with a big roller burr on the inside, the horses won't get in, but they'll get away from it in the straightaways. With the 2 head poles on one side, I found that they just kind of coast in a bit, and they don't get away from the the head poles the same as they would a bigger burr. So I went with 2 poles on the left, Murphy blind, and we just put a line pole on the outside of him just because he was getting out in the straightaway. I went out and I turned Warwi Yuri, and it was like a light went on. It was a different horse. He went a mile and 2.9 last half and 101 and 1 on a track where I just finished telling you was so deep that I hit the track going 20 miles an hour and never had so much as a bruise. That was how, if you would have said, okay, Anthony, you're going to Warwi Yuri, best case scenario, how do you expect him to look? Knowing that he'd been in 216, knowing that he'd been training good, but hadn't quite got to that speed yet. If you'd have said, in your mind, just paint me a mental picture of how you would like him to look, it would be nowhere near how Warwi Yuri looked. He looked way, way, way better than I thought he would. Not that I thought he would look bad, but I just thought we were getting close. I told everybody March or April of this year, Warwi Yuri will be ready to go. I've been saying that for months and months and months. But March is just around the corner. It's tomorrow. I'm thinking March 18th, March 20th. He might be ready first. He might be ready 1st of April. But what's he going to be? I paid him into the City of London. I didn't even pay him into the Spring Series. That's going to change. That was a hell of a mile from that horse. And I know Mario was very surprised, and I was very surprised. All the horse had on was a little pair of brace bandages behind and trot novels. That's it. Yeah, he hit the head poles or whatever, but there was no boots. He wasn't hitting himself and getting out of gear, and he was perfect. He was how we always hoped he would be. So I'm happy to report that Warwi Yuri, not only did he train good, but he's starting to look like the horse we wanted him to be. So that's my report on how things went today. I'm on my way over to Ohio. We're going to go with all the horses tomorrow morning, get them all trained up. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to run over. So this is how my day is going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up, I'm going to train all the horses. I'm going to go over to the Meadows. I'm going to race LD's Patrick. I'm going to get in the car the second the race is over and come right back to Northfield Park and try and catch the qualifier of Sister Solange. I'm going to try and go with her. Then I'm going to race in race 1, HP Maestro. I'm going to get back in the car and I'm going to come back to Ontario. So I'm here tomorrow for his speech. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. It was a great day today. A very unexpected day, both weather-wise. The babies didn't let me down, but
the miracle that Joe made the track really good but deep.
It was pretty amazing that the track was the way it was, but super excited with the way that Warwi Yuri trained and Brace for Landing both look good to me. So with that, I'll let you go. I'm on my way to Ohio in just a minute. Take care.